Hi. So I don't often do like newsy items, but sometimes sorry, I'm on. So sometimes there's news what I just like to share. I've done it a few times. This one is basically carrying on from what DC did this year. Earlier, was it this year or was it last year? Whenever it was, when the DC All In started, and it was last year, wasn't it? DC All In started with where they basically made all brand new jumping on points for all the sizes. Not relaunches, but just like soft entry points for people who might have wanted to try the titles. And of course, that's where the Absolute line came from as well. Well, it's evolving again. In March, the initiative goes from being all in to the next level. And again, DC are just really, really listening to what the fans want. And again, they're making it where it's good jumping on points if you want to try it out what you've not tried before. And they're not renumbering it. They're starting from the carrying on with the numbers what the sizes were the month before. So just been the next title, obviously. But there are some new titles coming out. So let's just look into it because there's been some more announcements about it. So I'm just looking at the AIPT news site. So I just find it a bit more. Um, I find the Bleeding Cool one very annoying. It sometimes feels like it's written by AI because if you look at it, you'll know what I mean. They've got this thing called LOLTROL or whatever. You have to go through like whole reams of text before you get to actual news item. But AIPT is a bit more streamlined. So it says here that DC Comics is kicking off March 2026 by slamming the accelerator on DC All In's second act, rolling out sweeping new storylines, creative team shakeups, milestone events, and new titles. So I just had to stop because a lot of adverts came up then, and I was swearing quite a lot, more so than normally do, and I do swear quite a lot on here anyway. But so first of all, what they're saying, there's going to be a fresh new storyline coming from Wonder Woman, which I know a lot of people will be pleased about because they really hated that. What was it, Mouseland or whatever it was called? Mouse Man, whatever it was called, that really cringy one. So this one is going to be set in a future timeline. I think it's set to, like so it's a bit like Kingdom Come, set 20 years in the future, and it says the defining chapter begins in Wonder Woman 31 as Tom King and Daniel Sampere, so this creative team still on, launch Wonder War, a sprawling future set epic that positions Diana at the center of the darkest possible timeline. The Justice League is dead, villains rule, Lex Luthor has bent the knee, and the matriarch, introduced in the sold out Wonder Woman 25, now reigns as Queen of America. So that's the cover. And there's some nice alternate covers as well. So it's set 20 years ahead. The story pairs Wonder Woman with a grown daughter Trinity in a battle that's equal parts family drama and war epic. Compassion and justice collide with authoritarian conquest, turning Wonder War into a generational fight for the soul of the DC universe and one of the most ambitious Wonder Woman stories in years. So I think that could be a bit of a breath of fresh air for a title that's kind of been treading water for like the past 6 months or so. So if you've been reading Wonder Woman and despairing recently, it looks like there's a glimpse of hope now coming in March. And things are being ramped up again with the Gotham titles, so the Batman family of titles. And again, there's no reboots. Oh, it's just fresh storylines, new chapter arcs, etc. So in Batman number 7, it's going to be a double-sized issue, but it's going to be 4.99 still. So, and by the same creative team, Matt Fraction and Jorge Jimenez. And this one brings the Joker back into the spotlight in unsettling fashion. The oversized issue features a striking interior gatefold that plunges readers into the Clown Prince of Crime's fractured psyche, reframing his relationship with Batman for DC's mainline continuity. But the Joker isn't the only problem. Commissioner Vandal Savage, increasingly militarized GCPD, and Gotham's new mayor, Pamela Isley, tightens their grip on the city, escalating a full-scale war on the Bat family. As pressure mounts, Batman faces impossible choices that lead towards a devastating police assault with permanent consequences for one of his closest allies, and that's the cover. So continue with the high quality level with that. Some really nice alternate covers there. And Detective Comics 1107 unites Batman, Black Canary, and Green Arrow. They used to be a team up back in the 80s in Doug Munchie, however you pronounce his last name, run on the title. To unravel conspiracy rooted in their shared past. Oh, and this is good. This has got me really excited. While Nightwing 136 kicks off with a supernatural noir storyline. I love how Dan Waters has brought this supernatural twist into Nightwing, whereas before it was always very street level. It reminds me how Andy Cheney took chances with Daredevil, how she brought in Mephisto and Pete characters like that, and what was it, Black Blood or whatever it was called. So this is going to be good. So Supernatural Noir storyline is written by the regular writer Dan Waters, exploring Bloodhaven's urban legends, starting with a haunted superhighway. But the thing that's got me really excited is the artist on it, one of my all-time favorite artists, and it's Dennis Cowan. This is what I love about DC. They're not just giving top-ranking projects to new, fresh talent, but they honour the old guard, the ones who've really busted the chops and got to such an excellent level of artistic skill. And see Dennis Cowan come on a major title like Nightwing, it's really got me excited. And he's inking himself as well by the looks of it, so it's going to be great. The only time you can beat Dennis Cowan inking himself is when Bill Sienkiewicz inks him as well. So this is going to be so good. I love this Nightwing cover. And then Batgirl number 17 and Catwoman 85 and Harley Quinn all have fresh storylines as well. But don't think there's any shake-ups. It's got the same creative teams on those. So I'll only really flag it if it's something major. I must admit that's and Poison Ivy's still carrying on. I think they're on to about issue nearly 40 or could be more now. Poison Ivy, which is really good when you think about it. And then there's going to be an event in the Superman titles. It says March also ignites a sweeping Superman family saga with Reign of the Superboys. It begins March the 11th in Action Comics 1096 by Mark Waid and Skylar Partridge as a young Superboy Clark Kent from the past collides with today's Justice League Unlimited. While timelines clash, Martian Manhunter, Mary Marvel, and Booster Gold search for a missing Man of Tomorrow in history itself. Just the cover. My light keeps on shining down, so keep on getting a glare on it. And I presume, yeah, it then carries on in Superman Unlimited, where John Kent confronts a terrifying time-bending enemy and a brand new character, Tomorrow Man, whose arrival destabilizes reality. I presume that's the character who got introduced in um, World's Finest. I think it's that character. I presume that's still Dan Slott doing that as well. Oh, no, I could be wrong. That could be him. I don't. And then the opening month crescendos March 25th in Superman 36 as Superboy Prime steps into the ongoing series and claims the mantle of Superman in a move usually reserved for full-blown crossover events. So that could be interesting. I do like how he's become like a really. This is the year for that character. The really like cultivate him in a really fun, clever way. And together, these chapters form a massive interconnected saga that lets readers follow the entire Superman family or jump into the title, spotlighting their favourite hero as DC All In enters its next phase. So that's good. So you don't have to get each title. But even though there's a continuing theme through them, you can enjoy them independently. And then it says Beyond Earth, DC's Cosmic Corner also levels up. There's going to be events with Green Lantern, because that is issue 33, but legacy numbering 600, so it'll be a big anniversary issue. I kind of jumped out of that. I, there's only so many DC and Marvel comics you can get, so I just had to trim it down. And then Green Lantern Corps 14, Guy Gardner becomes the All Sight, assembling a team to hunt down missing emotional entities. So Guy Gardner's had an upgrade. Aquaman also undergoes a transformation or evolution as the series changes title. It becomes Emperor Aquaman. So number 15 that starts with sending Arthur Curry on a star-spanning conquest armed with Omega energy against the Crimson Queen, with the regular team Jeremy Adams and John Sims. This one has me half excited, half not. I'll explain why. So back on Earth, the Flash 31 introduces a new creative team. Gavin Goodrid in the artwork, who I adore. He's really good. He's slaying it on He's slaying it on JSA at the moment. And then it's just by Ryan North. I've yet to read something by Ryan North that I enjoy. So I'm cautiously going to give this issue a try because I do love the Flash, and I'm pleased that they've got him back to his classic costume. So I'll give it a try. I'm excited for Gavin Goodry, but for some reason, I know a lot of people rave over Ryan. So I think treats him like the second coming on the Fantastic Four. But I just don't like his writing, and I can't explain it. It just doesn't gel with me. So I'm going to give it a try. There's a nice Brian Bolland cover as well. I really cannot do anything about the glare. I do apologise. And then this has me excited. And with the dust settling from DCKO, Titans becomes New Titans with number 33. I might be jumping back on because it says it's launching a new chapter for the next generation of heroes with a roster blending the classic and the unexpected. The cover looks really good. But it's a brand new creative team coming on it. Let me just scroll down. So yeah, so New Titans is now called New Titans, and it's written by Tate Brombell, who's done one of the best Image comics of recent years. That the is it Everything Dead and Dying or whatever it's called, the like zombie romance. That makes sense. And art by Sammy Basri, who's a good artist as well. So I'm definitely going to be trying that. I like the Titans, but they've not been done great in a long, long time. But I do trust Tate Brombell. I think he'll have a good voice for it because he did Christopher Chaos for Dark Horse, which was a really good youth-orientated book, and it worked really well. So I've got high hopes for that. So I'm just going to pause it again while I find the final bit. Okay, but obviously the big, big news for March is that spinning out of All In and DCKO, like I said, there's now the next level, but because of the next level, they're now starting, they'll be slowly drip feeding brand new titles. And what with these new titles, what they just said, the got all these creators that they love, like top tier artists and writers said, choose what character you'd like to do. And so that is the basically the some conceits for the whole run of series that they're releasing. So it says DC has revealed new details and cover art for 3 new DC Next Level series launching in March. And it says, following the momentum that began with DC All In Special and the debut of the Absolute Universe, Next Level, blah, blah, blah. We've read all that before. Okay, so it says the free March 2026 launch is previously revealed to Spotlight. As I mentioned, one of them is going to be a Lobo title, another one's going to be Deathstroke, and the final one for March is going to be Batwoman. These will arrive alongside that's already mentioned, but it's got some of the gives a bit more information about who the creative teams are, and it says each one is perfect entry level. With these new titles that they're bringing in, they're going to have continuity with regular titles, but there's not going to be any crossovers. You don't need to read the other titles. You can just jump in fresh. But these are just like the icing on the cake. The three that are releasing in March. There's going to be more coming out with each month. The one that I'm particularly excited for coming out later on next year, there's going to be a Legion of Superheroes comic written by Joshua Williamson. Which Legion, as I've mentioned, I think before, is my favourite team book. So really excited for that. So what they do have, they've got some of the concept art. So Lobo's coming out. And Lobo is going to be written by Scotty Young, perfect writer for that. And the art is Jorge Corona of Transformers fame. So again, fantastic team to take that on. And there's going to be Batwoman. So Greg Rucka has now got his baby back. He's got the creative reins for Batwoman again, with Danny coming on as the artist. Danny, who just has done a fantastic version of the Invisible Man. So she'll be the artist for that. That is going to be amazing. And the other one coming out for this month is Deathstroke, the Terminator. I love Deathstroke. He's a bloody controversial character. I think that's been the only misfire what Marv Wolfman's done in his whole writing career was that really dodgy, distasteful storyline with Deathstroke and was it Terror? Um, yeah, it was just unnecessary. He's a bad guy, but you didn't need to go and make him that kind of bad guy. Um, I think they've kind of like whitewashed that and washed that under the bridge now. Because as a character, he's amazing. I mean, Rob Liefeld just ripped him off to create Deadpool. Oh, I've just got to show that cover. Lobo, really good. But the creative team, show this Batman one as well while I'm scrolling down. So he's got his old title back. So he's going to be Deathstroke Terminator. And it says, soldier turned superhuman assassin for hire, Slade Wilson has made hundreds of enemies in his day, and now one of them is taking his world apart, piece by piece. The hit is out on Deathstroke as he evolves into his purest form, a Terminator out for revenge and ready to kill anyone who stands in his way. Deathstroke the Terminator, a new DC Next Level book, is written by Tony Fleecs. I am so made up with that. Tony Fleecs is writing one of the best ongoing comics you can get anywhere. And that's Feral. Highly, highly, highly recommend you go out and buy that. I turned Geeky Old Hog onto that one, and he sings its praise as well on his channel. Highly recommend you read that. And the art is by Carmen Di Giandomenico. Can't remember what else he's done, but I do remember his artwork. He's very good on that cover. It's amazing. But what's more amazing about all of this? So, three big titles coming out. Price point $3.99. And it's like the Vertigo ones. The Vertigo ones are all $3.99. Marvel, are you listening? If this was Marvel, they'd release it as a first 2-page comic, $5.99, like they're doing with Daredevil, like they're doing with Punisher. Iron Man, I think it's coming up, but it's going to be 40 pages, still $5.99. There's no Marvel logic makes no sense. They don't have no respect for people as the consumer, as the reader. They don't treat the fans fairly. I really am pissed off with that. And to be honest, I'm enjoying some of the new titles of Marvel. I want to love Marvel. It's not the titles, it's more the business practices I hate and despise with Marvel. I hate how the cut-off point's always 10 issues. I hate how they don't invest in creative teams. I hate how they don't invest with different formats. And I hate how the overpriced books are which are of poor physical quality. But enough about that. We're not talking about that. We are talking about these titles. I am really, really looking forward to the next level. I've enjoyed the All In initiative because it's not been an event. It's just been an excuse to release fresh creative talent on ongoing series, and that's what they're doing with here. And now they're letting these creatives cherry pick what title, what characters they want to do. So there's going to be Firestorm coming out soon. There's going to be Demon coming out soon. Legion of Superheroes coming out soon. Um, Barbara Gordon is coming out, and there's a slew of others as well. I'd love for a Doctor Fate comic to come out, but I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, there's about 8 or 9 more titles that's still on are going to be coming out in the coming months. So really, really exciting. DC has not lost the momentum. They could have rested on the laurels. I mean, they've got hits with all the Absolute titles, but they're not. They're now turning what they did with Absolute to doing it with these in continuity characters for the normal stable of DC characters, and I think that's fantastic. That's what they've been listening to the fans, and it shows that you can sense being overseen by Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson because they are comic fanboys at the end of the day, and that's what is making me excited. They've got the passion, and I want to see Marvel. I'm fed up with bashing Marvel. I want to see them have that same passion and have that same level of treating readers and comic fans with respect instead of just. But I don't think they will because the business model now of Marvel is Disney, and Disney don't treat people with respect. They don't treat their own IPs with respect, like the AI thing. What they're introducing for Marvel characters, it's like, why? So Marvels needs to do a fucking hell of a lot to get as good as DC are right now, and I don't think they will, quite honestly, with who while they are where they are and while who's in charge is in charge. But end of rant. But I'm really looking forward to this. What do you think? What titles are you looking forward to? I'm looking forward to all 3 of these that are coming out, and there's a lot of others that have got me really excited as well. Okay, bye.